Morning. I'm at the MEC venue in Maastricht, and about an hour and a half from starting. And it's the last all-day event in the Worldwide Wake Up Tour, which I've been doing since the summer of 2016. Been all across Australia, Europe, the Balkans, America, Scandinavia. And it's been a real eye-opener at the number of people now from all different walks of life who are waking up to the fact that reality and world events are not what they thought they were and what they were told they were. What's kind of interesting is the longer the tour's gone on, especially towards the end of it, as more and more people are looking at the information I'm putting out, there have been increasingly hysterical, stunningly mendacious attempts by ultra-Zionist hate groups, and I call them hate groups because that's what they are. Their modus operandi is to get the public to hate their targets. That's the whole point of their existence, so that they can silence them. And whether it's been in Canada or Britain or here in Maastricht, in the Netherlands near the German border, there have been efforts at each event now to try to get them cancelled. This event was kind of, I won't say in the balance, but sort of right up to yesterday, when the management here, with enormous integrity and backbone, really did show up the lack of integrity and the lack of backbone of venues like Manchester United's Old Trafford, where a book launch last week for my new book, Everything You Need to Know But Have Never Been Told, was pulled on the day by Manchester United on the say-so of tiny man-and-a-dog ultra-Zionist hate groups in league with a clueless and pathetic Labour MP for the area called Kate Green, and the equally clueless, in terms of me and what I stand for, anti-racist football organisation called Kick It Out. And what has happened here is the management have actually bothered to find out what I'm really saying, as opposed to what these hate groups are saying that I'm saying. I spoke in Edinburgh at a book launch in that week of Manchester United, and the lady running it had spent a lot of time in Israel, and of course all the hate groups started. You can't have him here because only what we say matters, not what anyone else says. And she got a barrister to look at what I was saying to see if there was any racist element to it, and he decided there wasn't. So they went ahead. They tried to stop the event in London on the Wednesday at the Troxy in London, where the owners again took the trouble to find out what I was saying and realised what I was being accused of was a nonsense. So that went ahead. Manchester United, Kate Green and Kick It Out never bothered. They just took as read what was said about them by the hate groups. Not only that, the newspapers reported what the hate groups said about me, unquestioned, unedited basically, and not one of them has come to me and said, hold on a minute, they're saying this about you, is it true? Not one of them has questioned what kind of world we live in when a tiny, and they're tiny in number, like I said, they're man-and-a-dog organizations who use multiple internet login names to hide behind. So one person posts lots of things, and it seems to be lots of people. So newspapers like The Guardian, for instance, they say the Manchester United event was cancelled because of a backlash. Well, that's funny because I started out in Britain, went through Australia, America, Europe, the Balkans, right up to here. And not once in all that time and all those events, anywhere in the world, has there been one single person protesting outside or one single person in the audience who has been protesting at what I'm saying. Because when they hear what I'm saying, people who haven't seen me before, they are shocked when compared with what these hate groups say I'm going to say. Because what I feel in terms of race is we're all one consciousness. And race and religion and sexuality, it's just an experience, just a brief experience. We're all, above all that, the same consciousness having those experiences. It is the ultimate non-racist philosophy. But you see, if you want to silence someone because of the information they're putting out that you and those that control you don't want people to hear, then if you can't demonize someone and silence them because of what they're saying, then claim they're saying something else that will be more effective in that demonization. So here we are in a world, the end of this Worldwide Wake Up Tour. I'm starting to do another one of evening events next year, where someone who has the ultimate non-racist philosophy is demonized as a racist by one of the most racist, if not the most racist creed on earth. Ideology on earth, not race, ideology, because that's what Zionism is. It's not a race, it's an ideology, which many Jewish people vehemently oppose. And this is happening to me within a wider environment where, whether it's Facebook, Google-owned YouTube, or wherever you look in terms of the circulation of information, we are looking at a war on freedom of speech with the intent of destroying it altogether. And that's why it's so important that venues have the backbone like this one and the integrity, unlike Manchester United and unlike others in Britain, like the Sheffield City Hall, like the Gladstone Theatre on the Wirral, like the Lowry Hotel in Manchester, all of which cancelled events based on these hate group lies. It's so important that people with backbone are prepared to stand up for this and stand up for freedom of speech, because if we don't, it's going to be over, finished, gone, very, very soon. And what needs to happen is the spotlight needs to be turned off the targets of these hate groups onto the hate groups themselves, and they have to answer questions about how they can be so arrogant, have such contempt for other people's right to an opinion and right to freedom of expression, that they want to shut down anybody that says anything that they don't like or they don't want people to hear, because this attempt to destroy my freedom of speech has got some publicity. People know it's happening. These same hate groups are targeting doctors, teachers, to destroy their livelihood, to get them sacked because they have an opinion about Israel or support for the Palestinian cause that they don't want to happen. So what we're looking at here is not a network of hate groups, which ultimately will lock into the Israeli embassy in London and into Israel itself. We're not looking really, just the excuse, at them defending against racism. That's just the excuse. How can one of the most racist creeds on earth talk about defending against racism? It's not about racism. It's about controlling the narrative. It's about ensuring that no other person's view but yours gets into the public arena. Are we going to stand for that? If we are, put the handcuffs on now and the ball and chain, because that's where we're going unless we say enough now.